They got the knowledge you crave. Hard hitting insight gonna make you win. Listen up closely, let the games begin. Top big sleepers every week I spin. The FF universe, it'll help you win. The fantasy football universe.
What's good, y'all? Welcome into another edition of the Roundtable. It is yours truly, Jesse Moore, aka JMoore05, and Nico Collins is him. That is what we call segue in the business. You're welcome. We're going to be talking about those players today. It is myself and my buddy right here, Mr. Jeremy Schulman. How you doing today? As you're on the old TikTok doing that too. Yeah, the fun stuff. Yes, sir.
That's it. Yeah, I had to mute my computer mic, and now I got this mic on, but I can hear myself twice. I hate it. I don't know what the hell I'm doing, but hey, we're on TikTok, we're on YouTube, we're on Twitter. Let's go.
I know we're in a new screen. We've never been on TikTok, so it'll be interesting. Anyways, if you want to follow us on TikTok, if you are on your phone, is a better experience on that app. Go to TikTok at the FF Universe. Otherwise, you can see us on YouTube, Twitter, all of our fun places that we're normally at. We're everywhere, folks. This is what we do. Me and Jeremy just every day, all day, living a fancy football degenerate lifestyle. So we're here for this edition of the Roundtable. What we're going to talk about is we're going to do a little bit different version of the Roundtable this week. We're going to talk about actually comparing and contrasting individual players for this week and for the rest of the season as well. So we have some guys that are kind of like ranked similarly. A lot of younger players. The tight ends are a little bit older. They're the old guys that are hot, sexy names. But we'll go over the list right now. We have the quarterbacks. We're doing Caleb Williams and Justin Herbert. We will do those in one moment. Running backs, we're doing Ashton Genty and Cam Scatterbo. Everyone's just like favorite sexy little beast in New York. Wide receivers, if you know us at all, you know who we have here. Jeremy's guy is Rick London. My guy is Nico Collins. It is what it is, right? In tight ends, we have Jake Ferguson and Hunter Henry. Two of those old, trusty, just dependable guys that are doing pretty well this year, actually. So maybe they might be that. So let's kick it off with quarterbacks. I think it's a good way to start us off. I'm going to add them to stage right here, as you can see. Oh, look at that. Caleb and Herbert, folks. So I'm going to make the case for Caleb. Jeremy's going to make the case for Herbert. It's TikTok. We're figuring it out. I don't know. I do apologize for that. We'll figure it out. Yeah, so I'm going to talk about Caleb here for a second as we get into this. Now, it started out rough. Everyone's like, oh, this could be a terrible season. He's actually been pretty good. In snaps and attempts and dropbacks, he's really good. His average time to throw is really good. It also leads to a little bit of variance with him. He's third. He's 3.23 seconds to throw. He's second in the NFL in passing touchdowns. What's nice about Caleb is you know that this offense is going to have to chuck it. He's already at a 67%, like a really good completion percentage. It's gone up every week. Started out 60, 63, 67. He's just been good. His PFF pass rating is 78 offense. That's really good. His yards per attempt is okay at 7.7. But overall, this offense with Ben Johnson just seems like it has taken a massive step forward. And Caleb has been a big beneficiary with my guy, Rome Odunze. So I think with a little bit of mobility he gives you on top of that too. It's a nice post. That's why I freaking butcher your back rows going off there. I just think with Caleb moving forward, you can lock it at QB1 each and every week. The matchups in the NFC North do not scare me as much as they particularly used to. I know Green Bay's got good defense. Detroit Lions have a good defense. But the nice thing about the Lions is they have to chuck it. Overall, I think Caleb is just a very high floor guy with the ceiling. And I think that offense is actually going to have to kick it up more than Herbert's offense at the Chargers because their defense is better. So that's kind of the breaker for me on the two of these. And that's why I personally prefer Caleb. But it's really picking poison. I don't think there's a bad answer in this one. So for me, it's Caleb. And he's the young guy. He's sexy. I'm always drawn to these with the dynasty mindset, the young, sexy players, right? I'm like, oh, he's new. Give me. So I prefer Caleb. Jeremy, why don't you make the case for Justin Herbert and tell us why you're on the Justin Herbert side?
Yeah. I mean, the first thing, if we just look at Caleb for a second, played Minnesota, played well, played Detroit, not so well, but went off against Dallas. So I think that's the biggest thing for me with Caleb. When we're talking about this man right here, I got to turn me down here.
Oh, there it is.
We're working it out. Justin Herbert here for me. First of all, in week 4, he gets the Giants. So you're very happy about that. But the biggest thing for me is the ascension of Quentin Johnston. I mean, this guy is right now looking like the best wide receiver 3 on any team in the entire league. Absolutely mossing Patrick Surtain last week, ridiculous on definitely at least once, I think maybe even twice. But he's been third in targets in every single game QJ has and first in yards. This is simply because Justin Herbert is elite at throwing the football. So between Justin Herbert and Caleb, better weapons, not only receiving the football, but also in the backfield as well. Not necessarily as a receiving back. DeAndre Swift, I think, takes that, but everything else is better for Herbert. The weapons are better. The offensive line is better, despite losing the best offensive lineman in the league. Help me out. Left tackle.
Why am I blanking on his name? Oh my God, this is ridiculous. I cannot remember his name.
He's out for the year, but the hit wasn't so bad because Joe Alt just moved right in and took care of business there. But the O-line is still much better. The run game is better for sure because we're relying on Kyle Madungai over there and DeAndre Swift. Amarian Hampton is him, despite Najee going down. The schedule is better, which we'll get into it for a second, and the coaching is better. I think Ben Johnson has a scheme, but it's week 4 for the Ben Johnson regime. It's going to take a little bit of a while to gel here. We are fully gelling in Los Angeles, and here is the schedule, and this is why I love it. Certainly in week 4, Justin Herbert gets the Giants. That's great. But listen to this. The Commanders, pretty bad against the pass. The Dolphins, one of the worst defenses in the leagues. The Colts, overachieving, but Kenny Moore now out for multiple weeks. He'll be lucky if he returns by that time. The Vikings, okay. Good defense, but terrible secondary. Still the Titans, the Steelers, the Jags, and then a bye. So it's fantastic. But even in the fantasy playoffs, weeks 13 in the run-up, all the way through week 17. You got Raiders, so good. Eagles, Chiefs, not so good. Cowboys, Texans. So I really like that, especially with their offensive line able to absorb the pass rush of a team like the Texans and fully exploit them. Meanwhile, Caleb's schedule, weeks 13 to 17, is Eagles, Packers, Browns, Packers, 49ers. So it gets really, really tough for Caleb Williams there at the back half. He's still got a really good schedule otherwise. But I think that's really what's going to do it for me. It's the fact that everything else around Justin Herbert is better. It's the fact that Justin Herbert himself is better. The schedule is better. And Caleb looks great over the first 3 weeks. But one of those weeks he played the Dallas Cowboys. And whenever you play the Dallas Cowboys, you're going to look great. Jordan Love is going to look great this week.
Yes, he absolutely is. Jordan Love, if you have him, you're absolutely starting this week because the Cowboys do. I think it's safe to say they have the worst defense or bottom 3 defense in the league. Like, it is abysmal. It's really good for Dak. But yeah, to your point, I agree. Herbert has struggled the last couple of years with that offense. They're finally figuring it out how they want to use him and his skill set. He's just a really good player. So like I'm 100% on both of these. I don't think there's a bad answer. If you want to go Herbert, 100% get it. Like he's probably has the best arm talent in the NFL, to tell you the truth. Like the throws he can make, no one else can make those throws. There's not a player in the NFL. Like it's just, you watch some of those throws and you're like, my God, this guy is just a specimen carved out of granite with what he could do.
For sure.
So, yeah, I 100% get it. It makes sense to me.
So listen, let's just take this question from TikTok. And if you're on TikTok, if you're watching us live, feel free to throw your questions in the chat about anything. We'll get through it. If you want to check out the graphics of everything we're talking about, that's over on YouTube as well. But Weston is on TikTok and he has a start sit question. He wants to start Ladd, Pickens, and Worthy, but he's got to sit one of these guys this week. Jesse, what are you doing?
So I was talking about this yesterday on the TikTok live. I'm giving Worthy a week back because I don't know how he's going to be deployed this first week back in the usage, particularly when you have George Pickens, who has no target competition with Dallas, and they're going to cook. I'm absolutely starting George Pickens. Ladd McConkey seems like the higher floor play guy, and you know his role moving forward. He's still really involved with that offense. He might not be a consistent wide receiver 1, but at worst case, wide receiver 3, more likely wide receiver 2 each week. Worthy, we're hoping for that. And also, Worthy's in the worst offense of the 3. Like, I hate to break it to Chiefs fans. Their offense is just abysmal to watch. It's not fun. Freaking Mahomes has like a 4.8 to Travis Kelce. It's brutal. So, for me, I'm just going to bench Worthy, but I'm excited to see how he moves in coming forward the next few weeks. So, rest of the season, I think it's more interesting. This week, yeah, I'm benching Worthy. What about you, Jeremy?
Yeah, I agree with that. It's really tough because against the Giants, like I'm not particularly scared of it. Certainly with Worthy. Kansas City playing. I don't have my schedule up here. Remind me who they play this week.
They play as I can get there. Why can't I find them? Baltimore.
I have it.
So it should be.
it should be a shootout, but we just don't know if it's going to be Worthy, if it's going to be Hollywood, if it's going to be Juju who's involved, it's going to be Kelsey this week.
Right.
I don't think we really know until Rashi comes back. And we don't know, like you said, how Worthy's going to respond to that shoulder injury. So like you said, Ladd is the safer floor, but they're also playing the Giants. So that should be a good one. You go with Pickens for the upside, go with Ladd for the floor. I like that one. So thank you. We have two more really quickly on TikTok before we get into it. How are us guys doing? We are doing well. Thanks for the offer. We appreciate you. So two questions here. One from Ethan. Ethan says, JMO, DK, or Jalen Warren. I guess that's a pick one, but let's order the three of them.
Warren, DK, JMO is how I have them. Do you agree? I know you're the JMO guy, so I don't know where you're ranking him this week. But for me, Jalen Warren has one of the best roles in NFL running back, pass happy offense. DK is the target hog there, and JMO is kind of the upside shot. Where are you at with those three?
Yeah, I agree with you there. It's got to be Warren. Love JMO. Like you said, he's the upside shot, but playing Cleveland. Cleveland on the front end is great. You know they're going to get to the to Jared Goff, so he's going to have less time to throw, which is good for the guys who are up close, like Laporta, like Amon-Ra, like Gibbs. Not so good for Jameson Williams. So of these options, I agree with you. I'll go Warren first. I'll go JMO second, and DK third. But DK is a really nice play this week as well. I think the question just becomes: are you able to? How did these guys respond to the game over in Dublin? And I think against the Minnesota defense, you're going to want to lean on the run more or less. We see this typically, but these games can go any sort of way. So certainly do want to lean on the safer side a little bit and go with, like you said, Jalen, JMO, then DK. We have one more question. Maybe two more questions here. First one is from Diego. Chase Brown or Travion Henderson? You got to go Chase Brown. I'm confused about Travion Henderson too, Diego, coming out yesterday and saying, reports that like Ramondre's still the one. I don't know what the hell to do. Play Chase Brown. What do you think?
I really want to play Travion because they hit Carolina, man. It's so tempting. And Chase Brown has Denver. So the way I did is I moved Chase Brown massively and I moved Travion Henderson up, but I still have Chase Brown 2 spots ahead of him. It's not good playing Chase Brown, but you got to trust the process because everything he's doing right now, as far as his role, is really good. The offense just sucks. So you have to trust the process with him. If we see it from Travion, I hope we do. I don't mind throwing him in your flex. It's like if you want to take the upside shot, but the floor is just so low with him right now. It sucks. It will get better. It's just going to take a little bit of time, unfortunately.
Yep, agree. Thoughts on Drake London rest of the season? That's a good segue. We're going to do running backs first, but then we're going to get into Drake London. He's my guy. We'll talk about him in just a couple of minutes. Penix or Kirk, who is finishing the season as quarterback of the Atlanta Falcons?
The guy that actually has 2 working legs. We'll go with that. Penix was off. Penix was awful. It was really bad, but yeah, I mean, I don't think people realize how bad Kirk Cousins was mobility standpoint last year. You put him behind the Falcons offensive line and he might not survive. Like he might be just going out and like the Undertaker might be coming for him. So yeah, I'm going Penix, but it does not feel good right now.
Yeah, agree with you. We hope it's Penix. If it's not Penix, it's got to be because of an injury, because if you're putting in Christian Kirk because Penix has failed, that's a huge problem for Penix. We are all in trouble in Atlanta, including that guy we love in Drake London. We got 2 more quick ones here. Then we'll go to one on YouTube, and then we're going to run into our next running back. After Kale and Adam's questions, if anyone else has questions here on TikTok, we'll get to you after the next segment. Kale says Pearsall or QJ this week?
Pearsall. Pearsall's role is awesome. I'm not worried about Pearsall at all moving forward. I get it. I think this is more to do with the injury. He's practicing, so I'm kind of not worried about the injury at this point moving forward. He's a target hog in that offense. I know Jawan Jennings is good, but like what Pearsall does, nobody else does in that offense. So this is kind of like the thing with Rome Odunze. These guys that are separate from everyone else, I like to go with those guys. Also, Pearsall gets Jacksonville. Like, I'm not worried about Jacksonville's defense. I know Travis Hunter's playing a little bit too much more than we're comfortable with. That's a whole nother story. But yeah, I have these guys. Pearsall's top 15. He's well above. So for me, it's clearly Pearsall. Are you on Team Pearsall or are you on the other side, Jeremy?
Yeah, it's pure salt. We love QJ. The problem is QJ is getting there on hyper efficiency. We don't know that that's going to be able to last traditionally when we're talking about regression. That's what we're talking about. All that hyper efficiency is just going to eventually regress back to the mean. And these guys aren't going to be able to do what they're doing. QJ, I don't think he scored a touchdown last week, or maybe he did, but he's been living off of touchdowns and yardage. He's we just mentioned this a minute ago, but he's been third every single week, technically 3-3, and tied for second over the first 3 weeks in targets on his team. He's led the Chargers every single week in yardage. So it's hyper efficiency, it's touchdowns. That's not going to last.
He had 10 targets last week. It was nice. It was very nice.
Crazy. Last one on TikTok for these questions for the moment. AJ returns. Jesse, what do we think about Jordan Mason? Still RB1 on the team?
Yeah, I mean, yes, like it's weird. So if Aaron Jones is healthy and he's playing, you have to knock him down just because it hurts him. Like he's not going to get the basically bell call role he had last week. So that's the one concern with him. But yeah, I prefer him to Aaron Jones. I think they're going to keep him just kind of like an efficiency touch basis just because they don't want to keep injuring this man because his hamstrings are made of just like paper mache. So yeah, I'll take Jordan Mason rest of the season, but it sucks with Aaron Jones coming back. It just hurts him.
Yeah, we're going to have to see with JJ McCarthy, like you're saying. It's rough. Mason should be the RB1 on the team. Is he an RB1 when Aaron Jones returns? Probably not. You assume the targets dry up and Aaron Jones gets used more that way. Derek, we see your question here. Drop it in the chat in about 5 minutes. We'll get to it quickly, but we need to move on. I think we have 1 or 2 questions here on YouTube. If you want to go over to YouTube, we also have graphics. You can also see Jesse and myself there. Feel free to do so. We're the Fantasy Football Universe. But let's answer a few of these questions here, and then we'll get into our stuff. Jesse, go for it.
Yeah, so start 2 between Jacoby Myers, Rome Odunze, Devontae Adams. Why is Jacoby projected for the most? I don't fully understand for that projection. For me, it should be Rome Odunze clearly projected for the most. Yeah, Devontae's questionable. The way I would do this, if Devontae's playing, I'll play Devontae. If he's hurt or you're worried about him, just pivot to Jacoby is how I would do this. I don't know what aspect you're thinking Rome Odunze is TD dependent. He's got an insanely high target share. He's been the guy in that offense the entire season. So for me, it's Rome Odunze. Yep. Then if Devontae Adams is healthy, I'd play him, but I'm fine pivoting to Jacoby. Jacoby's a really good matchup this week.
Yeah, we love Devontae's matchup as well. It's just going to – these guys are going to eat regardless. I think Matthew Stafford is basically defense-proof at this point in his career. So we like the way that looks. But Rome's got to be number one. We think he's TD dependent because he scored a touchdown every game. But that's also good. That's also really good because you're getting all the volume. The matchups will get a little bit harder for the Chicago Bears here. It's not going to be Dallas every single week, but that's all right. We'll live with that as a result.
He's playing Vegas. Vegas is abysmal defensively, so I don't know why Roman Dizzy is not projected higher.
Yeah, for sure. Larry Zonka. Scott, who you got?
This is another one. I really like Pittman. I've been like bound on the table for Pittman all season. It gets tight with Devontae Adams just because Devontae Adams is in a really good offense and his role is really good. I'm going to do the same thing what I do with Jacoby Myers on the last question. I don't mind playing Devontae Adams. He's projected for a lot of points as well, too, if you look at the projections. I'm fine pivoting to Michael Pittman. Like, I'm fine just pivoting if you're worried about the injury situation. So I would say Adams if he plays. If not, Pittman. Just go with Pittman. Like, he just seems like a safer guy not to worry about the injury.
Agree. You got to start Warren.
Yeah, like, I mean, it was a good question earlier, so I don't, like we talked about, if you're worried about a guy and you don't agree with us, happily play the other guy. I want you to play the guy that you want to play, right? So if you're still worried about it after what we tell you, play the other guy. Like, that's totally fine. You don't have to take what we do and just automatically put them in your lineup. We're just giving you our take on it and how we view it.
McDonald's fries, Burger King, onion rings. Oh,
onion ring, baby.
They're good. I'm going McDonald's fries. Ali, Stafford or Baker?
This is actually interesting because like Stafford's decent this week, but I'm playing Baker, man. Like, I get it. He's playing Philly. I still am playing Baker over Stafford. I know Stafford's playing Indy. They should have to shoot it out. But for me, I'm playing Baker. Like, I'm just not going to overthink it.
Yeah, I agree with you. there's two things here. People are talking about Chris Godwin coming back. Even if he plays, I don't know if he plays. Doesn't matter. Sterling Shepard is falling right into the nice role opposite Emeka Egbuka. Even Mike Evans out, Kate Otten is capable. I think it's fine. But Baker has a bicep something. He's wearing a sleeve. He's practicing through it. He's questionable. He's going to play because it's a big game. But that's kind of my concern. I probably lean Stafford, but it's really close there. Ali also coming over, Jesse, from the TikTok to the YouTube to get his question. That's
go. Crossing streams, baby.
But we also crossing streams. We're crossing streams. We didn't help you out. Jesse said Baker. I said Stafford. It's a really close one here. But if Jesse feels strongly about Baker, I would just check the pregame. Jesse, can you check the times of those games? Because Stafford is usually later in the day, but Baker sometimes as well.
Baker's the early game. Stafford is the later game. Yeah. So.
Yeah, well, that's actually good because Baker is the one with the issue. So if Baker is having some sort of, if you're hearing all this stuff come out pregame, watch him throw a little bit if you have the time, and then go Baker. But we'll know if he has the issue. If you're feeling any kind of way about it, Stafford is a good replacement. Feel free.
Yeah, Stafford's good. Agreed. Yeah. Completely agree.
Do we want to let's table these questions, Jesse? I think we should get into the next guys. What do you think?
Let's do it. Yeah, let's go do that. All right, so let's bust it up to our next matchup, which is the running backs. As you can see here, folks, it is Ashton Jeanty versus Cam Scatterbo, and I don't know why I went full screen on that one, but that is okay. We will fix that in 1 second. So, Jeremy, why don't you start by making the case for Mr. Cam Scatterbo and go from there, and then I'll pivot.
Absolutely. Mr. Scatterbo here in Week 4 plays the Chargers. Not a great matchup. We like the Chargers front, but they have a solid offensive line in the New York Giants. Like, surprisingly, the line on both sides of the ball is actually pretty decent for this team, even despite some injury. But Cam Scatterbo, 5 yards per carry in weeks 2 and 3 combined, which is nice. It's just 21 attempts. It's a small sample, but the guy runs like a menace out there. You love to see his play style translate to the NFL. That was something we were a little concerned about because he's slightly slower than we want. The guy's just a baller. And he catches the football. I think this is the big thing here, catching the football as opposed to Jeanty. Jeanty, just 6 targets. Scatterbo doubled his targets. He has 13 on the season. Now, we have Jackson Dart coming in, so this is a little bit of a concern. Maybe Dart runs a little bit more. Rushing quarterbacks don't necessarily check down to the running back. But Tyrone Tracy is out, and really Cam is the only game in town. Theo Johnson isn't getting a ton of looks. You got Wandale doing Wandale things, but he's been used a little bit more deeper down the field, at least with Russell Wilson. We'll see how Jackson Dart affects things, but I like Scat as the only game in town. He's not losing carries to Zamir White like Ashton Jeanty is early in the season, which is absolutely ridiculous. Pete Carroll doing Pete Carroll things, but also the remaining strength of schedule for the season. The Giants have it bad. The Raiders have probably one of the worst schedules in the league. They play Denver twice, Philly, the Chargers, Cleveland, Kansas City in half their games. The other half are decent, right? Jeanty, you're going to fire him up in good matchups, but in these rough matchups, you're going to be concerned. Scatterbo also has some rough matchups, but the thing that you can get behind are those pass catching opportunities. And Ashton Jeanty, the big stat that's been rolling everywhere, Jesse. So you got to address this first. 144 yards rushing, 145 after contact. I think that was pre-week 3, but regardless, he's getting crushed behind the line before he even gets a chance to start. That LV, Las Vegas offensive line has been putrid to start in the run game. In the pass game, Geno's got the most time to throw of anybody in the league. So.
Yeah, go figure, right? Their run blocking is just so abysmal. Yeah, the weird thing about Jeanty is he's actually been really good. It's just the situation has sucked, and they're not doing anything to help him. Reminds me of what we saw kind of called Boise State a couple games when he went up against the big dogs, particularly in the playoffs. Jeanty, he had to fight and scrap for every yard against Penn State, and it was rough for him. He got there. They are clearly figuring it out. The offensive line, it has to get better. It cannot stay this bad the entire season they're running. It's almost impossibly hard to be this bad. Yeah, it could. I will say there is a chance, but it has to get better. One thing over the course of Pete Carroll's career, they have almost always been good at running the ball. Like it's been something that they have been successful at. I'm going to give it some time with Chip Kelly and them figuring it out. Chip Kelly's a very good offensive play caller. I'm expecting them to figure out ways to get Genty in space, give him the ball. He's top 10 in evaded tackles per touch. He's got like a top 7 juke rate. Like the stuff you're looking for Genty is there. He's got over a 70% opportunity share. This is all good stuff. It's just everything outside of that is awful right now. So I think for Genty, he's such a good talent. He's clearly a better player than Scatterbo, even though I like Scatterbo a lot. I just bought Scatterbo in a dynasty trade where I traded off Tet and pieces, and I got Scatterbo back. I think he's a really good player. I just think Genty, like, I've seen people like pivot completely where they're just like completely out after 3 weeks, and I'm like, this guy was one of the best prospects we've seen come in like the last decade of running back. So be patient. If you want to start Scatterbo this week, I'm totally fine doing that. But it's Jackson Dart against the Chargers. That scares the crap out of me. I like Dart a lot too. I think Dart's really good, but both of these guys have question marks this week. And a little bit moving forward, Tyrone Tracy will come back at some point. So he could like chip into that a little bit. No one's going to impact Genty's, like, even though I said this as Zamir White is taking some carries for him. He's still top 15 opportunity share, so that's really good for a running back. Just be patient. It will get better. It's just really hard to be that bad. So I know the case I'm making is just trusting the talent, not necessarily the situation. But when you get these really talented players and chances to buy them, I'm almost always on the buy side. I don't look at it as a falling knife. I look at you're getting a potential difference maker down the stretch. It's kind of like the in-between point right now where it doesn't feel good buying him, which is the reason why you should probably go out and buy him. So I like Scatterbo a lot. If you want to go Scatterbo, you'll get no plays from me because he's really good. His role is awesome. He's an awesome pass catcher. Genty is as well. It's just going to take some time. So I know I'm kind of like hedging my bet a little bit here, but yeah, I think I'm fine going Genty, and just if I'm wrong, I'll take it on the chin and move on.
Yeah, and keep in mind, too, that Scatterbo is pretty much temporary because Tyrone Tracy will be back. He will eat in. Tyrone Tracy was leading the backfield. Will Cam give up the lead in the backfield at this point? Maybe not, right? If he continues to show out. I mean, he did everything he did last week against the Kansas City Chiefs of all teams. So looking good there, but we'll have to see. But if you get an opportunity to trade Cam Scatterbo for Ashton Genty, it's close now, but in redraft, it's close. Look, you're 0-3. You got Ashton Genty. Maybe you make that move. But I agree with you, Jesse. I still lean Genty. Speaking of leaning Genty, let's lean into TikTok. Jesse, Ladd or Pittman?
Oh gosh. Let me pull up my rankings because that's way too close. It's to the point where I don't feel comfortable, and this gets into the whole Ladd issue, right? Because he's not the target hog in that offense. Quentin Johnson leading the team and Keenan Allen's back. With that said, I probably still have. Do I have Pittman above him? No, I have Ladd like 4 spots above Pittman this week. The Rams defense is. I don't think people understand how good the Rams defense actually is. It's a really good unit back there. They should have won the game last week against the Eagles. Field goal shenanigans, special team cost a lot of teams, them specifically. I think the Rams are going to be very motivated this week. I still have Ladd above Pittman. I think Pittman will show out, but yeah, I'm a little bit lower this week on Pittman than normally, just because of the matchup they're playing.
Yeah, I'm lower on Ladd just because of the fact that he's like the 3rd or 4th target. Aronde Gadsden's going to get more involved. How can he be more involved? He had 5 receptions last week. How's he going to get more involved? There's no room on this offense. So that's my concern. Hampton coming on also as a runner. So I agree with you. There's just far too many mouths all of a sudden. We love Ladd because of his opportunity. You know who has the opportunity, Jesse, that Ladd had? It's Michael Pittman. Right. So Michael Pittman, practically outside of Tyler Warren, the only game in town. He's the clear second option, sometimes the first option, depending on how game script goes. Josh Downs gets lost sometimes. Alec Pierce is now injured. I think he's out. I think he's completely out this week as well. Concussion. It's limited over there. You think it's going to be Adonai Mitchell, AD Mitchell getting the targets over Pittman? That's not going to happen.
No, yeah. Pittman, like it's gonna run through Pittman Warren. Like that's how the offense is going to go moving forward. This is why I thought this sucked for Josh Downs specifically when they got Tyler Warren, because he's taking up a lot of that space that Josh Downs was working in. And by the way, when you spend a top 15 pick on a tight end, like they're like, hey, Josh Downs, we like you and all, but you're not the focal point of our offense because we're trying to do something different. So yeah, I am worried about Downs long term. I think Pittman's just a better like we talked about, he had a broken back last year. If you could still go out and get Pittman, I think he's going to be a reliable wide receiver 3. moving up into that wide receiver 2 scenario because like his target share is not the best in the world. It's good. It's just that offense is cooking right now, so he's going to be more than reliable for me.
Agree with you. We're going rapid fire here on the TikTok questions, like TikTok likes it. Like it or not, TikTok. Here we go.
Oh, yeah,
Allie, thanks for joining us on YouTube. Baker or Stafford. We didn't give you the right answer, but we gave you differing answers, but it's probably leaning Stafford. YMNQ cheese. I don't know what that means. I don't know if I want to know what that means. Rico, DK, Jalen, Warren, Juwan. That is Johnson at the flex. Let's order these guys. Rico, DK, Jalen, and Juwan Johnson.
I'll say Jalen Warren, DK. Is that Rico Dowdle? Is that what we're talking about here? Yeah, no,
Warren
definitely
touchdowns.
not Rico. Yeah, I get it, but that role sucks. Like,
It does.
Yeah. So I'll say he's last, and then Juwan Johnson. I like him at tight end, but I don't want to flex him.
Yeah, I do like the Steelers this week against Minnesota. Agree with you. It's Warren, DK. DK Juwan is really close. But I'll go DK. Juwan showed a little chink in the armor last week because he didn't score a touchdown. He still had a decent amount of targets. Rico's last, but of course Rico can always score. We're going to go even faster because I said rapid fire, Jesse. Chanbeer says Mooney or Addison this week.
It should be Addison, but this is the first week back.
Mooney.
I have Addison ranked higher. I'll say to Addison, but I don't feel good about it. It should be Mooney, though. It should be Mooney.
Mooney, 11 targets. Carson once throwing the football in Dublin to Addison. I'm going Mooney all day on that. Trey Tucker or Matthew Golden?
Golden? I literally do not trust Trey Tucker's role. Like, I don't at all. Like, I think that's a flash of the pan type performance. We're not going to get anything close to the rest of the year.
Disagree. I mean, we're not going to get 3 touchdowns. That's for
sure.
Yeah,
no.
Agree, because I think Trey Tucker is has a role in this offense. We were talking about a preseason, but that's because I'm a Jacoby hater, and I made a Wando call last week, so I could be totally wrong. Either way, you're going with Golden against the Cowboys. No doubter there. Pollard or Swift?
Well, Swift's dealing with the injury, right? And Pollard's kind of hitting it up too. So I'm fine pivoting to Pollard if Swift is out in this game, but I want to play Swift. I think it's a good matchup for him. So I'll say Pollard just by default until we get some more on Swift's injury.
I'm trying to remind myself of the matchups real quick. What do we got? Titans. I'm completely lost.
Pollard's playing Houston.
Yeah.
And Swift's playing Vegas. So
I'm going to go Swift. Swift was injured last week. But Pollard is definitely safer. Swift has just looked good. There's a lot of mouths there. I'm going to go Pollard. Ali is back. Probably is back. Turpin or Ellick in full PPR. This one's easy, Jesse, yeah?
Yeah, Ellick. No, actually, sorry, Turpin. Sorry.
No.
Oh, yeah, Turpin. I was thinking it was the other guy in Dallas. I was like, no, I think without CD, I like Turpin a lot. But yeah, I'm worried about Cam Ward and Ellick being rookies doing that consistently, so I'm just a little lower. But are you going Ellick, I'm assuming?
I'm going Ellick. I don't think you can trust Turpin. It is Jake Ferguson, who we'll get to later, 12 and 14 targets the last couple of weeks. Turpin's going to have to get there on efficiency. So no, thank you. And then we answered all this. Excellent. So we're all done with questions on TikTok for the moment. If you have a question on TikTok, feel free to put it in. Get there in a couple of minutes. If you want to jump over to YouTube, we are live on YouTube with graphics with Jesse's face. You can join us there as well. Jesse, I think we need to get to some of these questions here.
Let's do it. Where did we leave off? That's a good question. I think we're here. Scott's asking Daniel Jones or Drake May. Are you playing Daniel Jones over Drake May? Are you going all in on the Daniel Jones experience, Jeremy?
Yeah, but Drake May has such a nice matchup. Carolina, the only thing they really have going for them is a pass rush. JC Horn came back last week, looked good, so the back end was a little bit solidified. But Hunter Henry just doing Hunter Henry things. He's probably going to do those things again this week. And Drake May runs like an absolute bandit. Indy playing the Rams. You just talked about the Rams defense. We don't need to talk more about the Rams defense. They are legit. I'll go Drake May this week.
Yeah, I'm with you. You just go Drake May each and every week until you see otherwise. At this point, both of these guys are actually top 10. I like both of them, so I'm fine playing them. But yeah, we're going Drake May.
Agree.
Which kicker should I start? Little Dicker kicker? Yeah. Good answer. I'm when I get defensive kicker questions, I'm like, we're just moving on. I don't think it necessarily has to be, but I agree, Scott. Like this week, his role is pretty good. The Raiders need to figure it out, so understandable.
Yeah.
See the Raiders getting down the game. Yeah, I mean that's Singletary's fine. He's just not really the guy that you worry about at this point. And yeah, we can not worry about that guy. That's a UDFA that nobody cares about because that's what happens in the NFL. UDFA is kicked to the curb. See you later, sincere. It was sincerely nice to know you. All right, so let's actually get to this question right here.
Phillips.
Yes. So Alex is asking Anamara Pacheco, do you trust Pacheco at all in his role in that offense? Because it's just like all over the place. Are you willing to even play?
You can't. No, and he looks bad. That's the thing is like when Kareem Hunt comes out and looks better than you. And to be really fair, when Kareem Hunt has been healthy on this team, he has looked better than Isaiah Pacheco every step of the way. The only thing Isaiah Pacheco does is run hard. It makes him look better.
Yes. People love the tough running.
Yeah, but Hunt is better. Now, is Pacheco fine? Yeah, he's fine. But when he's making mistakes on the field, when he doesn't look like he's 100%, still coming off that injury, he probably has the safer floor here. But Ellick has been so good. You know he's going to crash out. You mentioned it a few minutes ago, Jesse. At some point, the production is going to fall off for a week or two. But you do have a nice rookie-to-rookie connection in Tennessee. You can't trust Pacheco. And, I mean, the matchup against Baltimore front, that's all they got going. They don't have a back end. So I'm going to go at Ayo.
I'm with you. It's just when you need these running backs and these part-time roles, and the Chiefs' offense is not really that fun for fantasy. It's not one you really want to bet on. So Pacheco, this offseason wasn't so high for this exact reason because we had concern about him. But, yeah.
I missed one on TikTok before we get into wide receivers. Are we starting Justin Fields this week against Miami, the second worst, if not worst, defense in the league?
Absolutely, we are.
Yeah,
Miami's a fancy gold mine for opposing offenses.
Yeah.
Running backs as well. Breece Hall. I'm not super bullish on Breece Hall, but I'm playing him this week. I'm playing Justin Fields this week. Garrett Wilson will have a good day. Like, just go those three. If you have them, put them in your lineups. You're good. Fields is a locked-in top 10 guy this week. I know it's all over the place for Fields, but this is the type of matchups you play Fields against the bad defenses because he will succeed against them. So, yeah, play him absolutely. Thank you, Alexander.
Jesse, we very
much appreciate the donation, so thank you so much for that.
Yes, sir. We got a couple of quick ones. This one isn't a quick one, but we'll try to do it quickly. From Mech back again, we appreciate you, man. What the hell are we supposed to do with Kenneth Walker?
I mean, this is why I had him as like a back-end RB2 is because the problem is Charbonnet's good, and Walker's not going to be a bell cow because consistent injury concerns, and he's not the best pass catcher in the world. What we need is the Seahawks offense to get a little bit better. They need to get better to support both of them because if Charbonnet is down by the goal line, that's the problem because he's the giant, bigger back. So teams will be taught that. With Walker, you just kind of have a solid RB2 who can give you spike weeks. It sucks. It just is what it is, unfortunately.
Yeah, unfortunately, that's true, but you still got to fire him up. He's a flex option, potential RB2 in good matchups. He should be scoring, but like you said, it's going to be Charbonnet at the goal line. Damn it. Christopher says ETN or Chubb this week.
I mean, I don't feel great about either one of these guys, but Chubb specifically is losing more work to Woody Marks. The passing game's gone. Woody Marks is also eating into his early down work as well. And that offense has a brutal offensive line as well. It's really hard for Nick Chubb. So as down as ETN, like compared to the two, I'm taking ETN for sure. Like I would rather play him. He can at least give you some pass catching work and do some things in that. So yeah, ETN for me for sure. What about you, Jeremy?
Counterpoint to that is Bashal Tutin coming on, taking the goal line in short yardage. They're playing San Francisco in San Francisco. Houston, with their horrific offensive line, is still playing Tennessee, and they're at home. I'm going Nick Chubb, barely. But yes, I love Woody Marks. And if he is there for you, go ahead and grab him up off of waivers. Last one on TikTok for the moment. Who are you flexing, Breece or Garrett Wilson? We know the answer.
Garrett Wilson.
Garrett Wilson. Yeah.
Don't like it. But yeah, Garrett Wilson.
All right. We're pausing this on TikTok for now, just in terms of the questions. We're going to get into our wide receiver matchups, and then we'll get back to all the questions here. So I guess Jesse is on the left side. We got Nico Collins versus Drake. London. Jesse, hit us with some Nico knowledge.
I mean, Nico Collins is one of the best wide receivers in the NFL. I never really got his point when we were buying him in like the late seconds of redraft this season, and I was like, and then he started climbing back up towards like the late round 1, early round 2, and we just saw what he did last week, right? I get it, the offense is all over the place, but he's got a flipping 30% target share, folks. 3-0. That's insanity. His target distance is good. He's the entire offense is what it is. It runs through Nico Collins. First read target share, he's a well over 30%. In the red zone, he's got half of their target. Like, everything is checking out for Nico Collins. The issue is CJ Stroud, that offense just is not good right now. So that brings his floor down a little bit. So I view him as a top 5 NFL wide receiver talent. He's that good. The two things that are the issue with him is injuries, consistently been injured, and this offense is just not that good with CJ Stroud right now. They need to figure it out. Yeah. But you can count on Nico Collins every week to at least get targets, and I'll trust the process with one of the best wide receivers in the NFL. I can give you more of this fun data nerd stuff. Don't really want to do that too much. I don't want to get too much time with Nico. But yeah, I freaking love Nico. If you can go get Nico, go get him on your team. He's awesome. So yeah, that's my Nico spiel.
This was the hardest one for me because we kind of just passed these around to each other. It was really hard to make the case for Drake London, but Drake London has more targets than Nico on the season, 27 to 25. Drake London has more catchable targets, talking about how bad CJ Stroud has been because he doesn't have the time. Drake has 18. Nico has 14. That's by Fantasy Pros metrics. Penix had a really, really bad game last week against that Carolina rush. J.C. Horn back, didn't know what the hell he was doing there. And Evero, is that his name? The defensive coordinator in Carolina is damn good. The last few cycles, he's been up for head coaching opportunities. So he just knew what to do against the young quarterback. They're going to bounce back, especially this week against Washington. Commanders giving up the 9th most fantasy points to both quarterbacks and wide receivers. I think Drake London gets back on track this week. Because also the Commanders have been stout against the run. Now, Nico is basically the same as Drake London. These are kind of one-for-one assets, but the Houston O-line is trash, and that is really the thing for me. The Atlanta O-line isn't much better. It's not much better, but the Houston O-line is, God, awful. And Jesse, and Christian Kirk is back. He was soaking up targets in week 1. I know we got Darnell Mooney back. It's a similar situation. Like I said, it's almost 1-for-1 with these guys. But I will take the guy with the presumably better offense and the inarguably worse defense, right? So Atlanta is definitely a worse defense than Houston. Houston has an insane pass rush, decent linebacking core, especially if they're all healthy. They need to get fully healthy, but then also the back end for Houston with Stingley, with Petrie. These guys are good there as well. So it's a really, really tight call for me, but I'm going to go Drake.
Yeah, I 100% get it. Like, the question marks surrounding them don't really do with the talent of the player, even though I think Nico is a better player. They both are locked in. Like, I think Drake London's second or third and first read target share in the NFL. Like, they are funneling him the ball. It's just the quarterback issues, the line issues. Some of these things are working against them. But yeah, they're both top 15 expected fantasy points per game. Like, you know what you're getting out of these guys. You just want both of them in your lineup, honestly, to tell you the truth. Like, you want them as your wide receiver 1, your wide receiver 2, and you move on and you're happy with it.
For sure. Let's get to more of these questions, Jesse. We got a ton of them, a few on TikTok here. Zachary G says he's considering a trade. Zach, just put in the chat if we get this correct. He's saying Brown, so I'm assuming it's Chase, but I guess it could be AJ. I don't know if we're probably not talking about a Saint Brown here. So let's do Chase and then let's do AJ first. Maybe Zach can clarify for us. Would you trade Chase Brown for Ricky Pearsall and Trey Benson?
Yeah. Like,
Yes.
There's a lot of concern with Chase Brown. His role's good. Offense sucks. It's just hard for him to consistently do it. It's going to be all over the place. So yeah, you're getting a really good wide receiver, and Trey Benson's like a replaceable RB2, but he's fine. Like, he can do what he did. So yeah, I'm fine with that move.
High end RB2, high end, but that offense sucks, and it's holding him back. Now let's say AJ Brown for Ricky Pearsall and Trey Benson redraft.
That's tougher, just because AJ Brown's one of the best wide receivers in the NFL. So it depends on what you have in your lineup. Is Trey Benson an upgrade of what you have? If Trey Benson's upgrading your RB2 spot, sure, but you're downgrading to Ricky Pearsall as much as I like Pearsall. Like, AJ Brown's awesome, so. It really depends on, like, if you have a hole in your RB2 spot. Other than that, I'll just hold AJ Brown. But yeah, I don't mind doing that. It's team specific to me.
Yeah, we ride with AJ Brown, but Pearsall is interesting. Like you said, if you need the RB there and you have AJ Brown, you're getting Pearsall and Benson. Go Pearsall, Benson. Not a huge downgrade. Nathan asked us to pick 2, but let's order these guys this week. There are 5 of them, Jesse. It's Pickens, Tyreek. Oh, there's 4. I can't count. Pickens, Tyreek, Chase Brown, and Cam Scatterbo.
Ooh, I might have Pickens the highest of these, so I need to double check. Let me see. So I'm gonna do the math on this.
I do too. Green Bay still, but
yeah, I might just go the wide receivers in this one. I like Cam Scatterbo. I think he's not a bad. It's just a bad matchup. But who's the 4th guy?
Chase Brown.
Oh, Chase. Yeah. I'm gonna do the 2 wide receivers. If you want to go Scatterbo in there too, I don't mind it. We're benching Chase Brown. It feels so awful.
Yeah, Cincinnati will bounce back. They will. Jake Browning isn't this bad. He's not good, but he's not this bad. That said, I'm benching Chase Brown until I see the offense function again. We've seen them function with Jake Browning in the past. We've seen Jamar Chase get there. We've seen T. Higgins get there, not necessarily together, but it went in good matchups. Chase Brown is still a good play for you. This team will be functional on offense, and their defense is horrific.
They got Denver this week, so I don't want to play him. If it was a good matchup, I would play him.
Yeah, so we say Pickens, Hill, Scatterbo, Chase Brown. We got one from Nugget. Nugget says Keenan Allen or Quentin Johnson on the same team in the same game playing the New York Giants. Jamie posted that in that stat in the chat. Drew Phillips covering slot wide receivers, but they move around a lot, right? Mm-hmm. We got Ladd in the slot. We got Keenan in the slot. We got Quentin usually on the outside. He's been balling. You like Keenan or Quentin?
Keenan slightly over Quentin. I'm just a little skeptical. I know Quentin Johnson's been really good, so I'm a little bit more skeptical of him than I am of Keenan Allen. I trust his role a little bit more moving forward, but like both of these guys are fall in the same kind of range of like picks for me, so I'm not differentiating too much from them. How do you view these two?
Yeah, pretty much the same. I go Keenan. I like the volume. I like the fact that he is seeing the red zone volume as well. QJ is trying to get there, but Justin Herbert's just so good. He's spreading it around everywhere. But who's getting his consistently? It's Keenan Allen. QJ is going to fall off when he stops scoring touchdowns and stops crazy volume.
It's insane. They're both top 10 in expected fantasy points per game. Those 2 guys. Like, that's how good the Chargers offense has been so far.
That's one more from Nathan, and then I think we're done. Nugget, we just hit you with, I saw you rejoined. We just hit you with Keenan over QJ. Feels bad, but it's going to feel good when Keenan probably scores another touchdown. Nathan says, for my RB2, should I just go Chase Brown, Kamara, or Scatterbo? Let's order those 3. What do you got?
You're supposed to trust the process with Kamara. Everyone has the bad taste of the Seahawks game in their mouth. It's going to be better than that. So I'm fine playing Kamara. I'm okay. It should be. It might not necessarily be good, but it should be with Kamara. Should be. Yeah, those guys are all similarly ranked for me. So you're basically tossing and turning. I'll play Scatterbo over Chase Brown, and I have Kamara slightly above him, but it does not feel good at this point in time right now.
Agree, but Josh Allen is going to go ham all over New Orleans in Buffalo. They're going to have to do something. Kamara's going to see 10 targets.
That's the thought process. That's what we hope. Yeah. We're hoping.
All right. Let's see. That's it on TikTok, Jesse. Let's go over to Twitter. What do we got? YouTube. What do we got?
We got a couple questions here. All right. So I'm assuming this is a start 1, and we'll say it's PPR because it doesn't really necessary. Keon Coleman, Devontae, freaking Wicks is back in our lives. This is the first Wicks class we had.
You have to
Stephon Diggs. Yeah. Or Calvin Ridley. Who are you starting Wicks out of this group, or who are you starting?
You have to start Wicks. Ridley just doesn't have the connection. He's got the rookie quarterback. Diggs hasn't turned it on yet. We don't know if it's still an injury thing, if it's an offense thing. Keon Coleman, he's hot, he's cold. We don't know what's going on in Buffalo. It should be him, but it can be anyone else at any given time. We've known this for years with Buffalo. We forgot it in the offseason. We're remembering it again. Dontavian Wicks is playing in the slot. They're playing Dallas. You have to start everyone against the Dallas Cowboys. They're horrific. Now, here's the one thing I will say is they're this bad because Deron Bland hasn't been playing. Jesse, I don't know if you've seen a practice report that says Deron Bland is playing. If he is playing, then I move off of this hot take because you shouldn't be starting Wicks in this situation. But if Bland is out again, I think Wicks is almost must start territory over these peripheral guys who have names and nothing else, right? Diggs has a name. He hasn't put it together this season. Ridley has a name. He's barely put it together this season. Keon Coleman has a name. Put it together in week 1. So we have that in our minds, but he hasn't done it since. Jesse, it's Wicks.
So Brent Bland, I can't say his name. Deron Bland practiced Thursday and Friday. So I'm assuming he's playing. So you get Wicks out of there, folks. Get him out of there.
Yeah, you gotta get him out if playing.
I don't think you can play Diggs. Diggs the one guy. I don't know what's going on with him, but it's just awful. I'm gonna rank Ridley's gonna be ranked the highest, and I freaking hate it. Like that's where I'm at with this. It's supposed to get better. But yeah, I guess it's Ridley for me by default. But
it's gonna be Ridley against Stingley, though.
I know it sucks. I guess you can go Wicks. It's just, it's hard.
I might still want to go Wicks. Keon Coleman has a great matchup. We know Josh Allen's going to go crazy.
Coleman could be, but it's just,
I'm still going to go Wicks. Screw it.
Do it.
Screw it.
Oh yeah,
we're going Wicks. We're going Wicks
we'll do
here.
It. We're going with Wicks. I'm back in love with you. Just catch the fucking ball. Just catch the ball, Wicks. That's all I ask. And catch it.
Jesse, for this one, I don't think it matters. I think you just listen. If you got if you got a starting roster with this and your bench looks like this, you're fine. It doesn't matter. You just roll with the punches.
Pick the one that's not drinking blood off of their husband. So I'm gonna take Jessica Alba. We're just gonna move off of that greatness. There we go.
Fair. Yeah, that's fair. This is the stuff you're missing out if you're watching on TikTok. Access MIA says PPR pick 2. Ayamanor, Ridley, and Tillman, assuming Juwan Jennings does not play.
Are you willing to play Ayamanor in this one? Are you willing to bump him up over Ridley and or Tillman? Assuming, let's say Jennings is out, because if Jennings is in, I'm just playing him. If he's out, you're deciding between these 3. How are you deciding about playing them?
I'm playing Ayamanor over Ridley. I don't want the Stingley treatment. I don't want it.
Are you going Tillman then too?
That's the question. You can't play 2 guys on the same team. Tillman against Detroit. Detroit can't cover anybody. Apparently, Terrion Arnold forgot how to be a cornerback early this season. So, yeah, I'll play Tillman.
Yeah, it's rough, but you're going to have to. Yeah, especially that Tennessee Titans team, you can't play both of those guys. So, I'm still going to have Ridley ranked above him, but yeah, I'll go Tillman Ridley. We'll just live with it. See how it goes. Jamie, Tillman guy. Let's go Tillman. I don't love it at all. I hate this.
Jerry Judy is the answer. Jerry Judy is the answer. We got a couple on TikTok. Before we get into our tight ends here, it is user says start 2, Ladd, Scatterbo, McMillan. So who are you sitting of the bunch?
Which McMillan is? Oh, it's Tet.
Jalen's out.
I'm probably sitting Ladd. Yeah, I have. So it's between Ladd and Scatterbo. I want to play Tet as long as he's healthy, which is the injury issue, right? So I'll say if Tet is still injured game time, I'll bench him. But otherwise, I'll bench Ladd, I guess.
Does it change for you if Christian Gonzalez plays, which I believe he's trending to do?
Yeah, that's going to make it tough on Tet. Even though Tet's still going to see a ton of targets, it'll probably be inefficient. So then we'll just bench Tet. Like, if Gonzalez plays, we'll just bench Tet, make it easy.
Agree. And I don't think, because the Patriots have been playing well, even though they kind of gave away the game last week, and I think they're 1-2, but they've been playing well. And now you're adding Christian Gonzalez. I would assume they're not going to add him unless he's completely healthy. I think he absolutely shuts down Tet. There's nobody else to shut down in that offense. So agree with you. Check and make sure Christian Gonzalez is playing for the Patriots. If he is, Ladd and Scatterbo. Lev J or Levi, can't tell either one. Should I wait on Ladd McConkey? I'm assuming Ladd McConkey is a later start.
Yeah, it's a later game.
Yeah, and is he dealing with an injury?
Not that I know of, but I mean, this stuff changes all the time. Let's look. Ladd he's clear on the report, so he should be good. So unless he's worried about one of the other guys and playing him. Oh, maybe he's talking about the Tet injury and he's waiting that way. So should be that.
Yeah, could be. I would wait on Ladd, but a double check about Christian Gonzalez. Mex says it's weird at the start of the season. Ridley was projected to have the best wide receiver schedule. He was also projected to have the best rookie quarterback. That may not be true. We'll find out this week. What do you think?
Yeah, this is the variance of the Calvin Ridley because he's a deep threat. and this is what happens with these guys. This is also Tillman. Like, this is the same thing with Cedric Tillman. If you can't connect with your quarterback, those valuable targets just become abysmal. This is the Will Fuller stuff over the years. Like, these guys are in targets by downfield. It's just really tough. So you need a quarterback that can stick it out on you. Cam Ward can. It will happen at some point, but in the meantime, you could just avoid starting him in the process. Like, I would just do that.
Yeah, but I would say, Jesse, how dare you? How dare you besmirch the good name of Alec Pierce? This generation's Will Fuller, Alec Pierce, going off with those deep targets.
Oh, baby. I know. He's also injured like Will Fuller. So, yeah, it's the perfect pairing.
This is true. This is true. Do I have it queued up? No, I don't. Let me queue up our final.
We'll get to it.
Share this tab. There we go. Our final matchups talking about tight ends. What do we got?
We're doing Jake Ferguson and Hunter Henry, two boring old white guys who are popping off this year. So welcome back in our lives, folks. These offenses are more viable than they have been. Like, they're doing very good things. Drake May is actually showing the Patriots to score, which is nice. And Dak is just slinging the rock. So I think these are two of the better. I actually have them a tier difference between the two just because I'm much more confident in Jake Ferguson's role. But I like both of these guys rest of the season. Locked in tight end ones. Do you want me to start making the case, or do you want to make the case?
Yeah, do it. Hit it.
All right, let's talk about old Jakey Jake. If you look at projections for the week, he is the tight end 4. He's projected for 52 yards. Hunter Henry is projected for 39 yards. He's projected for more catches, more yards. The interesting thing with Jake Ferguson is he's not that good of a tight end. This is my whole issue with both of these guys, is they're solid tight ends. Neither one is exceptional. They do stuff well. Dallas has to rely on him because their defense is so bad. So Jake Ferguson went from like a guy that I had like tight end 15, 16 in the beginning of the season. He's all the way up pushing top 5 because that offense needs to slang it each and every week, particularly with no CeeDee Lamb. It opens up the floodgates for Pickens and Ferguson's to see a ton of targets. So I think this is why Jake Ferguson has jumped up an even higher tier. I just think he's a quality tight end, not an exceptional, not a difference maker, but he's good. He's going to consistently see targets from Dak. And Dak, over the years, has supported tight ends. We don't need to go through the list of all of these guys that he supported. He kept Jason Witten alive for what felt like a decade, even though he started shaving his head, looking real old. He kept him alive. So, yeah, I think Ferguson is just the safer with a little bit higher floor or ceiling, even though Hunter Henry just went off last week, went nuclear for 20-something plus fantasy points. I think each and every week, Ferguson's just going to be a little bit higher for me. But I like Henry. And why don't you make the case for Mr. Hunter Henry, your guy with bets?
I am a Patriots homer, but not about Hunter Henry in fantasy, except this week. Hang on. I gotta move my little graphic. There, we're sharing. I'll put Hunter Henry biking the football because Hunter Henry is the only one of these two guys who's gotten into the end zone, and he did it twice last week. This week he plays Carolina, 9th worst against fantasy tight ends. They're pretty solid everywhere else. Jake Ferguson plays the Green Bay Packers, also giving it up to tight ends because they don't give it up anywhere else at all. But Jake Ferguson, 32 targets. He's the tight end 6 on the season. Hunter Henry, 22 targets. He's the tight end 2 on the season. Hunter Henry is doing more with less, and Jake Ferguson is going to see his volume evaporate once CeeDee Lamb gets healthy. That could be any week. It's not going to be this week. It's probably not going to be next week, but it's going to happen soon, and those double-digit targets are going to go away. George Pickens also getting more and more comfortable in this offense, especially with CeeDee out. I think that benefits a guy like him and the rest of these pass catchers. Jake Ferguson for now is a safety blanket. He'll continue to be that, but you know where he's not a safety blanket? In the red zone, just 2 red zone targets for Ferguson on the season. Hunter Henry has 5. Ferguson is the worst fantasy option with double the receptions on a team with a better quarterback, a worse defense, and a better short-term role. It's Hunter Henry, but it's only Hunter Henry because he scored 2 touchdowns last week. So
yeah, Jake Ferguson's got the Trey McBride thing from last year where his role was exceptional. If you're looking at expected points per game, Jake Ferguson's at 17 freaking points per game. That's how good his role is. It's just the lack of touchdowns. Will the touchdowns come? I freaking hope so. Dallas will score a ton of points. It should. So this is where I'm just trusting the process. But yeah, Hunter Henry's always been a solid, dependable touchdown guy. You know he's going to get, 6 touchdowns a season at least, like in that range?
Easy.
Who knows? Maybe this year he gets double digits. It's entirely possible. Man. Good.
Absolutely. So you never know. Yes, Jamie, it is always a good idea to end with a tight end. For sure. We're about tapped on TikTok, so I think we're about tapped on time because it's about an hour. Jesse, what do you think?
About that time. Yeah, let's wrap it up, and we're going to do this again tomorrow for the 6 Art Show. bright and early my time. Mid evening your time. But yeah, it'll be good. Do it all over again. Lots of fun. We're tomorrow we will be doing I'm gonna be jumping off strictly just on TikTok the last 30 minutes. So spend time on that, and then Jeremy and whoever else from the fantasy football universe decides to join us, we'll be on that show with Jeremy.
Maybe just me.
Maybe not. We'll see. Who knows? Maybe we get grace of the presence of SC or any one of those other guys. But yeah, this is the FFU. So let's call it a day.
Let's do this. We got a fantasy football Discord. It's always in the link in our bio on all platforms. Just go ahead and check that out. But it's always in the link in the bio at Twitter. So you can check that out there. But then we also have this. If you haven't tried Fast Draft, it's pretty cool. It's like an underdog, but the drafts are way faster. They do weekly contests, DFS at this point for sure. But we have a code for you. If you sign up for the first time, if you deposit up to $25, you get a free up to $25, depending on what you deposit, a free deposit match on us. Use code FFU.
Beautiful. Well done. That's what we're talking about. That's how we wrap it up, folks. Yeah. Hopefully we answered your questions. Hopefully you enjoy it. Well, if you have more questions, we know you will. We will be here doing this again tomorrow. So we look forward to seeing you bright and early my time, 8:30, 11:30 Eastern. I'm not sure that's mid-evening time. Jeremy, is it 5 o'clock p.m. your time?
Yeah, we do 6, 7 p.m. Yeah. Good stuff.
All right. We're going to call it a day. Take care, folks. We will see you tomorrow.
FFU. FFU.